Hey YouTubers, how's it going? Mike Martin's here, Mike Martin's channel. Uh, Great article here. I read it a few days ago, a day ago I think it was, and I really need to find a way to approach this without freaking out. So I had to calm down. Somebody sent this to me on Instagram. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I'll leave a link below. Someone sent this to me on Instagram and said, you should read this is what you're talking about. I'm like, I know. I saw this, I read it, and I have to approach it as calm as possible and not freak out. And the article basically states, welcome to 2030, I own nothing, have no privacy, and life has never been better. And yeah, right there says it all. Basically, the article, what happens, it's basically telling you is someone's point of view from 2030. And they're kind of looking back and saying, how did these people live in, 2014 or 2016, the way we lived? How people, it goes into the death of shopping, how people live different kinds of lives outside of the city, and they're considered as outcasts because they don't follow the whole trend of being part of a bigger society. And that's what people are brainwashed into thinking, that being part of a bigger society is the way to live a life, and that's the way you will progress in life, is being in a city, right? But it's not true. That's why I left the big city. So watch this. Welcome to the year 2030. Welcome to my city, or should I say our city. I don't own anything. I don't own a car. I don't own a house. I don't own any appliances or any clothes. So basically, I think them saying that I don't own any clothes or appliances, they do own them, but it's just on credit. That's what I'm thinking it is. It might seem odd to you, but it makes perfect sense for us in the city. Everything you considered a product has now become a service. We have access to transportation, accommodation, food, and all the things we need in our daily lives. But all things became free, so it ended up not making sense for us to own much. First, communication became digitized and free to everyone. Then, when clean energy became free, things started to move quickly. Transportation dropped dramatically in price. It made no sense for us to own cars anymore because we could call carless drivers, which carless vehicle for flying, or a flying car for longer journeys. Wow, a flying car. They promised us a flying car in the year 2000. The year 2000 came, I didn't see a single flying car. Within minutes, we started transporting ourselves in a much more organized and coordinated way when public transport became easier, quicker, and more convenient than the car. Now I can hardly believe that we accepted congestion and traffic jams, not to mention the air pollution from combustion engines. What were we thinking? So basically it goes into how the environment is in 2030 and how they've fixed the problem. The death of the shopping basically talks about how retail stores and robots took over most of the work. And then they live different kinds of lives outside the city. My biggest concern is all the people who do not live in our city. Those we lost on the way, those who decided that it became too much, all this technology, those who felt obsolete and useless when robots and AI took over the big parts of our jobs. Those who got upset with the political system and turned against it. They live different kinds of lives outside the city. Some have formed little self-supplying communities, others just stayed in empty abandoned houses in small 19th century villages. So this is basically forecasting what's going to be happening by 2030. And you know what? It doesn't seem, the way things have been going in the last 5 years, I don't see this being a surprise. But what's going to happen to the poor countries? How do they assimilate? They don't adjust, right? They continue basically living 30 or 40 or 50 years. Well, I wouldn't say poor countries, because a lot of those countries have more minerals than we have under our feet. But they're being exploited and we're not, right? So what do you guys think? I want to know what you guys think. It is somewhat of a big deal because, it goes into what will we eat in 2030. Let's look at this. There's another article. What will we eat in 2030? The future of food is a contested space with multiple competing ideas about how the future will evolve. The growing human population with significantly increasing global middle class will be the engine of increasing global demand. Historically, increasing wealth has led to change in consumption patterns. particularly more meat and other resources intensive foods like cheese and eggs. The question is the extent of when historical trends will play out in the future. So it goes into showing the different regions here in food, climate summit here. If food lost waste were its own country, it would be the third largest greenhouse gas emitter. So I don't know, guys. It goes into a lot of diverse things. They're talking about the gases that cows produce and stuff, and all that other jazz that people are starting to take notice now. I don't know why they didn't take notice 100 years ago, but I don't know. Things are changing. Things are changing way too fast, and I'm one of those outsider guys that live in the small town. I don't know. 2030, the rise of compassion, or a world of worship and walls. I don't know. I don't see how this is, what's going to happen. But, I'm for peace. I want peace, prosperity, human extension, just humans going out and expanding in space. I'm more important. It's funny how, let's say we've been on Earth 30, 40, 50,000 years, and we still haven't learned our lessons, and we still don't get along with each other. Why do we have to wait till 2030? Why can't we just get along with each other right now? Why doesn't everyone just call a spade and say, okay, you know what? This happened to... Instead of saying, I said this before, well, you know what? We fought a war with these guys. No, they fought a war with those guys. That was their war. Or when they say, in World War II, Germany was against this, and Germany... No, it was those Germans, not today's Germans. You know what I'm trying to say? This happened to this, and this happened to this 1,000 years ago. What? That was their war. It's not our war anymore. You know what I'm saying? There's got to be a way for people to come together and just be a community. And I'm not saying being a melting pot and everybody. Just people have respect for each other. People in their way of life and stuff just respect each other's ideas, and that's it. There's nothing more. We must ensure the fourth industrial revolution is a force for good. Well, I don't know the way things are going. I don't know what's been happening. I don't know where things are going to be headed. But I really hope that, we could prosper as one and leave everything that happened behind and just move ahead. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let me know what you guys think. I mean, there's no other medicine for it. People being separated or people living in separation, I just don't think... I'm not talking about open borders either. I'm talking about people respecting each other's countries, people respecting each other's religions and cultures, everybody respecting each other, period. You know what I'm saying? And people want to do things in their country, and then respect other countries, Like when my parents and we came from Portugal, we assimilated like this. Language, culture, people, food, everything. Block parties, going to garage sales, talking to families, and getting to know people. Things could be like that again. Things could materialize, or I don't know, just become like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just delusional, but we're all humans in the end. We all come from woman, and we all go to the ground when we die. Let me know. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think.